2021. There's predictions all over the place, all over Google, all over YouTube. What do we do with all these prophecies and predictions? Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about how to decipher all these predictions and prophecies. Hey, this is Rebecca. We are diving deep so we can rise high today. We're remembering our greatness together. What have you heard about 2021? What have you heard about the predictions and about the prophecies for all that's going to be happening this coming year? Let me know in the comments. This video is not really about the prediction itself, but how to decipher and how to navigate ourselves with the predictions that we've heard. Now, there's something really important I want to tell you about. Is that whenever someone's making a prediction or a prophecy, they're getting a download energetically, spiritually. And a really good question to ask is, what's speaking through them? What energy is coming through? This is not to create fear in any way, but I have heard that there are oppositional forces. There are energies that want to kind of snuff out the light of people trying to ascend or awaken. So we need to ask, what energy and being is really doing the prophetic reading or the prediction? Because there's a lot of manipulation that can be going on. Now, how do we deal with manipulation? We get more aware than the message or the manipulator. So how do we get more aware? Well, we just ask questions. This is how I see it. Who is this? What is this? When you tune into your highest awakened state, feel that lightness. Does this prediction match up with that? The thing is, guys, predictions and prophecies offer a possibility of a future reality. What we have to realize, though, is that there are so many possibilities. And when predictions say that this is what's going to happen, think about this. There's different timelines, multiverses, dimensions. There's so many different universal realities that could be happening. And they're naming kind of this one thing on this one timeline during this one specific time. The prediction is a small possibility that could happen. But the manipulation piece is that these certain oppositional forces or manipulating energies come in and they want to get into the mindset. They want to get into the thought process of the 3D collective. Because if two people buy into a thought pattern, it becomes a reality. And that's how the collective consciousness is established. So when you get these predictions coming in, and we really buy into this, that this is going to happen in this way, we create this very strong possible reality. Just as a prediction, it's a very small possibility. But if you get the whole collective thinking about it, your thoughts create your reality, that reality has more of a possibility. So we really have to be careful and aware and conscious of what we're buying into with these predictions and prophecies. Now, in this past year, I've heard that a lot of the timelines around angels, light ETs, they have kind of left the ship of Earth, and that channels coming from angelics is actually kind of like a past that's not caught up with itself, if that makes sense. I'm not quite sure. I heard this, so it's so interesting, and I'm asking the question, well, people are still channeling Palladians, they're still channeling Arcturians, they're still channeling angelics. And what I've heard is that that's kind of an outdated, that's not current, whatever that means. So we really have to ask ourselves, what timeline are we on? What present reality are we really focused in? And really tuning into our highest frequency at source, and then what really aligns with the messages that we're listening to. Lots of predictions out there, and some of them are from manipulative oppositional forces that are trying to create a bigger collective thought process around a certain prediction so they can get a possibility to happen to so they can get a possibility to come forth. Now, again, a prediction is not a reality that will happen. It's a small possibility, but the more people that buy into it, it becomes a bigger possibility. Hey, Max. So, it's fun. It's fun thinking about what's coming next, what prediction, what's prophecy. But what if you know all that you need to know? And what if your own knowing and your awareness is all you need to navigate the future of 2021? So, my prediction for 2021 is that the key and the biggest tool we need is our awareness, which means we really have to rise up to let go of a lot of old baggage, to let go of kind of like savior complexes and being saved and all that kind of stuff. You have everything you need and require right here. And working on really raising your vibration and sustaining it. What's going to be key in 2021 is to really be a sovereign force and not to follow the herd. The herd is this collective that's going blindly into the future of 2021 and not asking questions, not having their own awareness. They're letting the collective have the awareness for them, and they're kind of going into it. Now, this isn't a debate on the vaccine, but one of the things that's happening is there's this new vaccine, right? And there's people not asking questions about it. What they're saying is like, there's hope. There's finally hope. We can finally just relax here. And they're just blindly going to get this vaccine. Now, I'm not going to say for or against, but it is important as we go through 2021, and I'm using the vaccine as just kind of a tangible thing. There's going to be lots of things like this in 2021 that we really have to have our own awareness about and have questions around and really think for ourselves and really feel for ourselves and not follow the herd. And so when we're asked to do the vaccine, do your research, ask some questions, look at studies, dig a little deeper to see some of the reactions people have had, dig a little deeper to see what's in it and what you're putting in your body. This is going to be really important with the vaccine and anything that's coming up, that we don't just follow blindly this collective consciousness and the herd mentality. Unhook from the collective herd. What is your own awareness? And you may choose to have the vaccine or choose something that the collective is following, but have your own awareness of why you're doing it. That's going to be key. That is my biggest prediction for 2021. So let's break this down a little bit. How do we find the awareness to not be manipulated by these predictions and prophecies? And how do we stand in our own sovereign strength and knowing? The first thing is ask the question, who and what is making this prediction? Who and what is making this prediction? Get clear on the frequency that is actually making the prediction. Now, the person being the voice for the prediction may seem really light, may seem like a light worker. So it's confusing, but the message coming through could be a frequency from an oppositional force. And oppositional forces are trying to snuff out really light workers, because that light on the planet right now is going to get in the way of their agenda for this planet. So tune in, even if it's someone you followed forever and they seem really light, tune in, ask the question, who and what is really giving this prediction? And if it contracts, walk away from it. And if it expands your energy and raises your vibration, maybe listen to it. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, does this feel like a manipulation? Does it feel like It's a belief that they want you to kind of hook into, okay? And if you feel like it's a manipulative energy, you get to have your awareness and you get to be more aware than the energetic that's trying to manipulate you. And you get to just have that awareness and then say, I'm going to choose something different. I'm not going to buy into this. Anything is possible. Okay. And finally, number 3, stay sovereign with your connection to source, which means meditate every day in your own stillness, connecting with source energy. Okay, source energy. I like to connect in with source energy at the 144th dimension because there's different, I don't want to say levels, but yeah, but that's kind of, there's different dimensions of source. That's how I see it. And there's different dimensions of your higher self. So you want to tune into like the prime creator source energy and kind of let everything else go, that you become the sovereign connection to source. There's just so many frequencies and entities and beings that kind of want to manipulate and get in there to have their say through your life. So we want to just put those out here and make sure you are connecting in every day and being that space of that source sovereign connection. And take time to really expand that nature of yourself every day, several times a day. Okay. I really recommend 45 minutes a day if you can do that, because it's just how it just saturates your system and your light body is pretty amazing. But if you can only do 5 minutes 3 times a day, do that. You can do 5 minutes, more is better, but anything is a contribution to this. So those are the 3 things that I personally do and personally recommend just playing with as you go forth in 2021 and beyond. And we go forth in this new paradigm, which is really asking us to have a sovereign connection with source, to really own our own awareness and our own knowing. And we don't need to go out and have other people's information too much anymore. If we do that, do it with a grain of salt and with our own awareness, so we don't get swept in to the manipulation that may be behind it. Again, this is not to create fear in any way. It's to just help increase our awareness. So let me know how this landed for you in the comments. What do you know about this? What do you know about predictions and prophecies and channeling? Where do you find the greatest sense of source and peace and light and feel empowered? Okay. Any person and being that is doing a prediction that feels like it takes your power and your choice away is perhaps something that you should turn the volume off of. You really want to be around things that are empowering you to know what you know and to have your awareness right now. There's a lot of things happening on the planet right now that are manipulating us into powerlessness and fear. And it's happening in kind of a very subtle way. So we just have to up our awareness. Beautiful people, 2021 is upon us. Let's take a step toward our power and our sovereign connection to source and remember our greatness. Happy New Year. Namaste.